Hello, everybody, and thank you for visiting the SaxManBand.com channel, DOT. It's been a while, and that's because most of my horns have been out for repair, and most of them had to go back a couple times. It wasn't done right the first time. I also have a couple flutes that just got repaired. I've been really itching to play them, and it looks like I'm going to have to send them back again. So repairing instruments is not only costly, but it's time-consuming and annoying. Speaking of saxophones that need repair, I have two other saxes that are out for repair right now. One, I'm waiting for a part from Japan, and then the electronic store is going to tell me when they receive the part, and they're going to go ahead and fix it and send it back to me. And then the other one got sent all the way to Michigan, a place called Meridian Winds. That's where I sent my polycarbonate saxophone, the clear vibrato sax, and they had to send it all the way to Thailand. And Thailand and I, we made a deal, and they're going to send me the latest polycarbonate sax that's made with new improvements. So we negotiated something, and it's going to be great. I can't wait till I receive the polycarbonate sax, and I'm going to make tons of videos with it. But anyway, all these repair jobs drove me crazy. So the video has to do with preventing future repair, at least minimizing the future repairs, because that's costly and annoying, and it's time consuming. So here are the ways you can prevent repairs in the future. The ways to prevent repairs in the future: first, you can buy Chinese horns. I do repair these a lot less than the non-Chinese horns, but every once in a while, these go out too, just less. So you can lessen the repair work further by having proper hygiene. Brush your teeth before you play the saxophone. Always do it. Never eat food and then just play the saxophone. That's how the sax gets ruined, because the residue goes all over the horn and in the pads, and then you have to start replacing pads, and it gets expensive. So the third thing will be to swab your saxophone out when you're done playing it. You want to keep the saxophones, you want to keep everything dry as possible. You want to use one of these things to dry out the body, right? And when you take it out, you want to keep this in a separate part of the case. Don't keep it in the same case, because you're going to just create a Peachtree dish full of bacteria. Now, once that's dried out, you also have to dry your neck out. And I happen to personally like these swabs, these silk swabs. They work great for me. And I put the weight down the neck like this part of the neck, and I swab it out nice and dry. And I even go like this a little bit. I pull it both ways. It's just faster. It works easier for me when I go like this. I do that a bunch of times until it's really dry. You want to do it at least 2-3 times. Then you want to take this and you want to put this in a separate part of the case. You don't want to leave a wet swab in the sax case and create a Peachtree dish. That's nonsensical. I thought of another way that I created in my head to get rid of the damp problem inside the case, and that will be to take a sock, particularly a sock that's loose, like a diabetic sock that has a lot of looseness and a lot of air circulating through it, and you want to put rice in it, and then close the other end with a plastic tie or a rubber band. Don't let that rice fall out. That will keep your sax nice and dry. You're going to like that idea. Try it. And I don't have mine here with me. Otherwise, I would show you. Another trick that I thought of today is called a key leaf. I didn't invent the key leaf. They sell them on eBay for $6 each. I think they have sets of 2, maybe more, but let's say 2 for $20. It's probably more than that. And you stick the key leaves in between the pads and the body of the sax, because you don't want the pads touching the sax, because if the saxophone is wet inside or it's just damp, even after swabbing, it can ruin the pad and it can make the pad stick to the sax, which is the worst thing you can do. A lot of times I used to play jobs and I would play the note and the note would come out wrong, and people thought maybe I was a bad sax player or something like that, and I felt bad. But it was not me, it was the sax. So let's prevent that in the future and use a key leaf. Now, I made my own key leaf. You're wondering what this thing is in my hand. I made this from this. Isn't that something? It was just a paper plate from Costco, a wax-coated one. So that was my idea. I cut it out. Instead of buying one on eBay, I just stick this thing in the worst key that gives me all the problems, if not, yeah, all of them, is the G sharp key. So I'm going to stick that in between the keyhole and the key. Do you see this? And I'm going to just leave it there until the next job. So that's pretty good too. That's going to keep the pads from picking up dampness. Now, the other pads you don't have to worry about so much because they're already open. But that G sharp key, it's constantly touching. There are some other pads that touch the horn, like this one, like this one over here. But they don't give me the same problem. They do give me a problem a little bit. They stick slightly lightly, but not enough to ruin a performance. And when it does happen, no matter where it is, here's a solution to stop your keys from sticking. Get yourself a $100 bill. Yeah, I got one. You want to get the $100 bill because they're crispy and they're new and they're not damp and they're dry. And you take the $100 bill and you put it in between the body of the sax and the keyhole and the key itself. That's what I'm trying to say. And you want to pull it through. You want to put it in between the key and the keyhole, and I'm going to take my thumb and press the key down. Can you guys see this? And I'm going to pull the $100 bill firmly while pushing it firmly, and that will help take the stickiness out. And you do that a few times, at least 3 times. And that's how you get rid of sticking keys. So I hope my advice will save you guys agonizing time and money and bad performances. Keep that instrument really clean. It's going to be well worth it. It takes extra time, but it's just something that we sax players have to do. Now, all this time that I missed with the repairs, the saxes were out for months, so I got lazy. I didn't play. And then when I did get the saxes back a while ago, I continued not to play. I just got lazy. So I made myself a promise that I have to play 2 hours every single day until my gig next week. And I've been doing that for the past 3 days. I play 2 hours a day and I hold long tones. So one other thing, because my embouchure got weaker, I wanted to play something easier. So I usually play this number 8. It's a Chinese mouthpiece, but I also play a Bobby Dukoff. I've showed you on other videos, and that takes a lot of power. And I'm using the 7 right now, one of these rubber 7s. It's called the Barry 100. And this ligature is actually from Vibrato Sax. I love their ligatures. They make the greatest ligature. When I use a ligature, I don't want to use screws, and I don't want the mouthpiece ligature to come off, the reed to come off every time I handle the mouthpiece. And it doesn't with this. It's really easy. It just slides on and slides off. So it's really easy to play because it's a lower number for me. It's a number 7, and I like it. It's something that I will be using more for like standards and jazz and things like that. This is really more for that loud rock band that I was once in, that annoying loud rock band. And I had to cut through all the electric guitars and stuff like that. So I had to use this. Also, I use this when I play with a DJ. So I'll get back to using that. But for now, I'm enjoying this very much. And I'm building up my embouchure at the same time. Let's see how it's sounding. Let me see. much for visiting saxmandan.com. I'll keep practicing. I'll try to get better. Bye-bye.